She was under fire this time, and she also was uneven in her performance. It never got a big message on.
He was too busy sort of swatting people away and couldn't get to his central message about what he wants to do for this country, except I was good enough for Barack Obama.
Yeah,
and that isn't good enough for 2020. So he has to get beyond that. Maybe he felt that wasn't his job at this debate. Maybe his job was just to get through it unscathed, and that didn't happen. But I would have expected a little bit more.
I think one of the questions is, I came into the debate saying this, I thought he'd probably get a C, but some people might see it as an A+, because people are still invested in the idea of Joe Biden, the idea that he can go toe-to-toe with Donald Trump, the idea that he's still the most electable, because folks in the Midwest might vote for him. We'll see if that's the case, if he's a kind of Teflon candidate, and a lot of this, that he might not be so strong in debates, is priced into what people think of him.
Let's go over to our party governor. What'd you make of it tonight?
Listen, I think a lot of people thought Biden was going to go out in a body bag. That didn't happen. He did. Some people predicted that he wasn't going to rise to the occasion. He did tonight. They went after him, attacked him on some issues that, it was interesting. These were Obama policies the Democrats were attacking Joe Biden on the issue of deportation, on Obamacare. That's very tricky to do. President Obama has a 95% approval rating in the Democratic Party. So a lot of the hits I don't think really affected him. I thought Cory Booker had a great night. He was the happy warrior tonight, and I think there's something to be said for that. I do worry with some of these debates, the negativity between all these Democrats. We got to get ready for a fall campaign, and it's gotten a little nasty. A lot of the things we hear tonight could come back and hurt us when we finally run against Donald Trump. So I was proud. I thought Booker did a good night. I thought the attack on Senator Harris was one of the toughest I've ever seen.
By Tulsi Gabbard.
Storing evidence on people on death row. I mean, that is as tough as you could get.
Look, I think this was the opposite of last night. Last night you had two stars at the center, Warren and Sanders, and they wiped the floor with all the Lilliputians. This time, the stars faded. Biden did well enough to stop some of the fears, but not to give people that overwhelming confidence that this is our guy. And Kamala just didn't have it tonight. And instead, the people that were almost the afterthoughts came on like gangbusters. Cory Booker turned in a performance that reminded you why he's a household name. He was great on immigration. He was great on criminal justice. He was great on climate. He was happy. He was effective. Because up until now, he looked like a guy with a great future behind him. He bought himself a lifeline. Also, Gillibrand did great. She did great. And nobody expected her to do well. And I must say that Andrew Yang.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. I agree.
There you go.
I agree. So
I think that collective sound of sighing you hear are the sighs of relief of people in the Democratic Party who wanted Joe Biden to show up. And he did. I know there were a couple of rough moments, but honestly, his opening was sharp. His closing was sharp. He had a great response, I thought, to Bill de Blasio, the sort of voice moderator, about the TPP and trade, and he came
really
forth
flow,
in a strong way. And in a state like Michigan, that was really important in terms of whether he would support NAFTA 2.0. So I thought Joe Biden did a great job tonight, and we'll see what happens in September. But I thought
you're interpreting the size. The size I've heard from some Democrats is this all there is? To quote Peggy Lee,
from my perspective, I think there are a lot of Democrats who said the bar was really low. He did bad in the first debate. They were all worried that he was going to fall apart. He did not. He was the pinata. He had all of this incoming. And he did. He held his own.
What I really needed to hear from Biden and from Harris, what I was really excited about, was their positive, proactive vision for the future. And I didn't get that from, honestly, either of them. I thought Harris handled the criticism really well. It's clear that the rest of the field considers her just as much of a threat as Joe Biden. But I think Cory Booker won this debate, and he won it
was very positive.
by being positive and by being the happy warrior.
If I can jump in to your point about Biden, and take your point and tie it to David's point. If this is the best he can do,
Can you see him against Donald Trump next
I guess the
October?
question, let me beg your question. Let me just beg it, because if this is the best you can do, all he was doing is responding to incoming. I mean, that's this
Well,
kind
okay,
of.
we're not explaining.
I'm just saying that he had 10 people or 9 other people on there, all with a different attack that he was supposed to respond to. So I'm just saying that he did well, given all of that.
I agree with you. I agree with you, except for one point, which is, where's the inspiration?
Right.
You're a Democratic voter. And you're looking out there, and you've seen these 20 candidates after 2 nights, and you're thinking, which is one of these people that I'm going to go out and knock on doors for? I'm going to go out.
This goes to the narrative piece.
I'm going to go out and work my heart out for these people.
Yeah.
Which is the candidate?
I think first of all, I would say Cory Booker was inspirational tonight. I think Michael Bennet had a couple of moments that were really inspirational as a former superintendent talking about criminal justice. But I do think this was a joyless debate.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate.
Let me say one thing about Tulsi Gabbard, who I thought had an extraordinary night. Listen, she, I think, spoke well to her generation. And when she took on Kamala Harris, listen, it's tough to take on a prosecutor. She took her on. On the death penalty, Kamala has been mixed. She did take a very courageous stand in San Francisco and not bring forward one of those death penalty cases. But later on, she had the opportunity to essentially end the death penalty in California. She decided to not do that. And so when you have somebody like a Tulsi Gabbard, who's a soldier, who's a true believer, challenging someone like that, that's a big risk for Tulsi Gabbard, and she pulled it off. I didn't think anybody could survive laying a glove on Kamala Harris. I would not lay a glove on Kamala Harris, and yet she did it, and she survived. And I think that says there's some steel in Tulsi Gabbard that is growing, and she actually made a difference tonight.
Well, we haven't heard. I want to give Jay Inslee a good shout out as well. I thought
You got to take care of your governors.
Yeah,
he did do a good job.
He did a very good job in climate. He did a good job in executive experience. I thought Jay Inslee was, very proud.
But I mean, I think the question is, I can't remember which of you asked it, is on a stage with Donald Trump. I mean, Donald Trump was on a stage in 2015, 16 with, 15 other top Republican candidates.
Talk, brother.
And, that... I mean, it was worse than that. Was just 10. There were 15 or 16 people on that stage, and he wiped the stage.
Well, he was the bully, though. He was calling.
Okay, well, he's not going to get any nicer than this.
None of these people are going to mimic that behavior, because when Republicans mimic that behavior, if you recall, when Marco Rubio did it, it didn't do them any good.
Right, but I just don't know how